Koshti sir, can you unmute yourself? Can you please unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yeah. Now it is audible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Please share your presentation screen. Yeah.
Now can you see this in my presentation?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let me take few moments to introduce to you with all of our participants today. So good morning.
Okay.
Welcome back to second day of this 3 days faculty development program on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and its applications in power systems, organized by Department of Electrical Engineering, K.K. Wagh Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. On the behalf of organizing team, it's my sincere apologies to all participants for this bit delay for starting session. I would like to introduce our today's expert, Dr. Atul Koshti sir. Koshti sir is working as associate professor in Support College of Engineering, Nasik. He has done his graduation B in 2001 from SGSITS Indore, ME in 2003 from same institute. He completed his PhD in 2012 from UIT RGPV Bhopal, and he brings with him experience of 16 years and 6 months in academics. His PhD topic was distributed generation capacity planning and optimization. And today he is going to deliver us on the topic use of artificial neural network for electrical engineering. So thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for joining with us. And now I hand over this session to you for presentation. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. Please proceed, sir. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, please.
Yeah.
First of all, I am thankful to the Electrical Engineering Department for inviting me as an expert for this session to share and discuss the topic with all. Also, I am thankful to Dr. B. Kushare sir and Dr. Munje sir for providing this opportunity, and Ganesh Jadhav sir and Omkar Bua sir for coordination and cooperation. Now, starting with this particular topic, basically, I'm just going to use first the uses of artificial neural network. The uses of artificial neural network are the pattern recognition, prediction, and functional approximation. But one must understand first, what do I mean to say? What are the applications of this neural network? So let us take one example. If I take an example of, say, you are familiar with that example. Basically, if I take an induction motor and at a given mechanical loading condition, if I operate that with an variable voltage supply, so probably you will be able to see the real power and reactive power drawn from the supply, it is going to change. It means, suppose if I change the voltage from say 0.7 to 1.2 per unit, then its real and reactive power, they are going to change, isn't it? And then one can see that the P and Q, they are changing with P. But what is that relationship? I mean to say whether linear or non-linear. So in most of the cases, it is non-linear relationship. So it means if I want to find out how the real power and reactive power, it is changing with voltage. So it's a non-linear relationship. Now, can you develop some artificial intelligence system with the help of that? It will be able to predict if I give the voltage as an input, then it is going to predict the real power and reactive power. So yes, it is possible with the help of a neural network. So that is one application, that is it will be able to predict if your neural network is properly trained. Also, it will be able to identify the patterns. Basically, for different values of V, it will be able to identify what should be the value of P and Q. Third property, that is functional approximation. Basically, it is nothing but an you can say curve fitting problem. So as you see, the voltage, if I change the voltage, then real and reactive power, it is going to change. For the example which I told you, that is induction motor is operated with a variable voltage supply at a given mechanical loading condition. Then your input power and input real power and reactive power, they are going to change. But what is that relationship? To find out that relationship, basically it will have some functional relationship. So it is nothing but a curve fitting problem. Is it clear to all of you? Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Now going to next slide. Yes, the artificial neural network process. Basically, as I told you, given the example that there are two phases. One is training and one is testing. In the training procedure, basically input data and output data is given. That is, input pattern and output pattern is given, and then it is going through a particular you can say a training procedure, and then at the end when it learns to identify the pattern, then it will start identifying the patterns. Now the second phase is your testing. Once your neural network is trained, it can recognize the patterns. So the unknown patterns, they are given for the validation. So basically these are the two parts, that is training and testing. Now the third slide, basically your artificial neural network is derived from the human biological background, and in our day-to-day life what we learn from the different exercises that I am going to show you. This I am taking one example. Say the child learning. From childhood, by her parents, initially everything is new to that particular child, but as time progresses, he learns and starts identifying or recognizing the different relations. Maybe as a mother, father, friends, or say he will be able to identify animals, objects. So this is a kind of pattern recognition, basically learned by child. Now in the next slide, I will tell you again another problem. That suppose you are that the two friends are there and they are meeting after a long time, and say they don't know anything, and after a long time they are talking to each other. So initially it will be very difficult for them to identify. So basically it is known as the voice recognition when, but based on the patterns, or say the common memories, or say the way of talking, how they are talking to each other. So based on that, they will start identifying each other. So this is nothing but another application of pattern recognition. It is a kind of voice recognition. In the next slide, you will be able to see the same thing, what I told you, how child learns from his initially from his childhood, then based on the heights of mother and based on the visuals through eyes, or say listening ability from ears, he will be able to identify different relations as mother and father. In the next slide, I'm going to tell you about the learning rate. Well, I'm going to take another example, that in classroom teaching, say, if your teaching is fast, so it may happen that your student will not get anything. It will be difficult for him to understand. But when you are, or also if you are teaching in a slow manner, then again it's a boring situation for him. So what is that? It means you'll have to have some optimum speed so that they can learn it properly. So this is a kind of a parameter which is known as learning rate in your neural network. It is important parameter. This learning rate is important parameter for learning of neural network. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Based on these various, I mean, the human biological background and how do we learn by these different exercises that we are going to see. Now, I'm just going to share some of the biological neuron concept. Basically, in brain, the millions of neurons, or say in body, the millions of neurons are there. And individual of neurons, they are connected to several other neurons. So basically, this neuron to neuron connectivity, it is having some, it is that connectivity is known as some link, and that link is associated with some particular weight, or say electrical strength. So whenever I mean when we observe something, then through our eyes the neurons are excited, and then they passes the signal to the brain, and then our brain takes the action, that is it my friend, or like that. Then your neuron system, basically this is nothing but the architecture of biological neuron. Actually we will see how this neural network can be used for some particular application. So as I told you that human bodies are having some millions of neurons, and individual of neurons, they are connected to each other, and this neuron connectivity is associated with some link, weights, you can say. So this weights and learning rate is an important parameter for artificial neural network. So now I am taking a very simple example, which you are familiar with. All of you, I think you are familiar with that. I am just taking a simple example of a circuit problem where a resistor of 1 ohm is connected to a variable voltage supply, say 0 to 1 volt. And if I suppose change the voltage from 0 to 1, then you will be able to see the current and the power dissipated in the resistance. It is going to change. Are you getting what I'm trying to say, everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in the next slide, you can see that I have taken some samples for this particular problem. Now what do I mean to say? If different voltages, if I take, say the voltage is changing from 0 to 1 at an interval of say 0.1, then the current is going to change, that is mentioned in that particular table. Also the power is shown here, that is power dissipated. Now initially at the site where serial numbers or patterns or instances are written, basically this is nothing but the terminology of an artificial neural network. These are known as the patterns. Say the first pattern, or say the second pattern, or say the 11 patterns are there. They are also known as the instances in the artificial neural network. So if you plot this particular, I mean how the real power and current, they are changing with the voltage. So basically you are going to get this non-linear relationship where the current is changing linearly with respect to the voltage, and the power is also going to change non-linearly with respect to the voltage. Now this is nothing but a kind of functional relationship. So can I develop some artificial intelligence system? Suppose if I give at the input say a particular value, say x, so then it will be able to predict say y. So here for this problem, we will try to develop some neural network. You will be able to see the slide, the single input and single output or multiple output neural network, where at the first one, that is case A, you will be able to see that artificial neural network where an input, that is x, is given and output y is coming. Please keep in mind this x is not a single value, but it is a kind of vector. What do I mean to vector? Because it is having several values. So similarly for individual values, if I give at the input, then it will be able to predict the output y. Now I have implemented this particular concept for this particular problem, circuit problem. At the A of second, you can see in the figure A of second, where the voltage is given and the output power is coming. It means if I give at the input the V, then it will be able to predict P. In A of 1, if I suppose give V as an input, then it will be able to predict I. Or suppose if I take together these two parameters, that is current and power, together with voltage, then through this neural network, the A of 3 case, you can see as at the input we are giving the voltage V, and at the output the current and power is coming. So this is a kind of intelligent system, but this intelligent system is known as your artificial neural network, and it goes through some training procedure. When that neural network learns how to identify the pattern, then at the end, if I give some unknown patterns also, then it will be able to identify. Now we will see in the next few slides, then how this neural network is implemented actually, and what is the significance of the other parameters. These are, I mean, weights and the learning rate. Now in the slide number 16, you can see the single input, single output neural network, where at the input you can see the terms, that is 1V and V square. Can you see this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes. Now I have implemented this neural network where the voltage is given at the input. Now where we are giving the inputs to this neural network, they are known as the input neurons. So say the one input where we are giving, the weave input where we are giving, V square input where we are giving, they are known as the input neurons. And at the output neuron where the summer sign is there, the output is coming as say I. That is nothing but the output of this neural network. And you can see this, the one is connected to the summer through a link, and that link is associated with some weight, say W0. And the another input V is connected to the summer through the associated with weight as W1. The another input V square is connected to the input of the summer associated with W2 weight. Now, what do I mean to say? Basically, most of the times the problems are non-linear. For the functional relationship, you will have to take the you will have to use the help of Taylor series. And as I mentioned here, as I have taken the voltage up to second order, you can extend it up to the higher order also, depending on the non-linearity available in the problem. So probably if your network is, I mean the samples are linear, there is a linear relationship, then you can omit this particular V square term and W2. So there is no need of this V square input. So probably your neural network may be learned if the problem is linear. But if in case of non-linear problems, you'll have to introduce these higher order terms, say V square and then V cube, like that. So I have taken very simple example of the current where the output is current and at the input we are supplying the voltage. But you'll have to make this particular neural network. And you can see the relationship where at the slide I have mentioned that what you have to do, this W0 into 1 plus W1 into V plus W2 into V square. This is nothing but the output, that is I. Now, this is nothing but the neural network output. Now, please keep in mind, if I know, because V is having several values, the voltage is changed, we have from 0 to say 1 per unit at an interval of 0.1. So it is a vector. So now, if I suppose give you the first input, then whether because it needs the weights also. So do we know those weights for which it will be able to predict the correct value of I? No, right now we don't know it. But that is the problem of this neural network. Then we have to obtain these particular weights. So once this neural network weights, they are known to you after training procedure, then your neural network is going to predict it correctly for any value of the V in which we have trained that neural network. Okay. Now similarly, in the second one, that is in slide number 17, I have mentioned it for say if suppose the output is P, that is power. The power is changing non-linearly with the voltage. So here I have mentioned at the input the voltage, the terms they are given as 1 V square, and they are associated with the weights W0, W1 and W2. And the formula for the P is written here, which is nothing but the predicted output by the neural network. This is a kind of problem, non-linear relationship, where if I supply the voltage V, then it will be able to get the value of P. But presently I don't know the values of these universal weights. By training procedure at the end, you will be able to get this weight so that for a given value of V, you will be able to predict the value of Y. Now together, if I take a neural network where it is going to predict the value of I and P, that is current and power, when the value of voltages they are given, so you can make the neural network like this, where you can see that the input neurons and output neurons, they are associated with some weights. You can see at the top one, where the current is coming as output, W0, W1 and W2, they are associated with weights. And similarly, these inputs, they are to the second summer, the output is coming as P. The associated weights are given as W3, W4 and W5. Now at the right hand side, you will be able to see that relationship, how I can express this current I in terms of the weights and the input voltages. And the power P, power dissipated in the resistance in terms of these weights and voltages. So basically, out of this exercise, basically this is a kind of neural network is known as the functional link network. That is most of the times very simple to implement. The other type of neurons, they are back propagation or say radial basis functions. So another neural networks also, they have some different strategies for this data to train, to learn. So now basically we require a training data. Basically training data where there are different patterns and different inputs are there and different outputs are there. As I mentioned you as that it requires some training data at the training. For the training, it is known as the supervised method, where input is given and output is given. So it is properly labeled for a given pattern. Say first pattern, when the input X, the output is Y. When the input say X2, the output is Y2. Now there is no limitation of this, I mean this neural network. Several types of inputs they may be given. Like I have taken one example where the one input is given and one output is coming. So at the input side there may be n number of variables, and at the output side there will be n number of variables. So it is not the limitation of this neural network. It will be able to properly train that neural network, but it should go through a proper training procedure. So we require a training data. Training data, I have taken one example of, I mean that circuit problem where the input is voltage and the output is say current or say the power. Now we will see on a generalized training procedure how one can implement this particular training procedure and learn this neural network, how to train this neural network. And then at the end you will be able to see for a given values of voltages and voltages, it will be able to give the value of, or it will be able to predict the value of say P and I, that is power and current. In actually practically you will also see some other problems where this neural network can be used for functional approximation or say for the prediction, but one has to search that particular kind of problem. I have taken a very simple problem which you are familiar with, and we will see this generalized training procedure. For the step number 1, you will see we have to present the pattern first or say instances. What do I mean to by giving the patterns? Say as I mentioned in that table, if I say give the first pattern, so for the first pattern we are giving the input at say x1 and we will get the output as say y1. So this input initially we have to give, and as I know that your that output I mean the output power or say current or say the output variable y is a relationship of the weights basically. So initialize, you have to initialize the weights. These weights, they will be initialized as the low random numbers in between the range say 0 to 1. After getting this getting this initial weights and the input, you will be able to calculate the output y1. How? You can see these examples. Say the input I have mentioned here. You can see this slide where I is equal to W0 into 1 plus W1 into V plus W2 into V square. In place of V, I have taken their Y, the output Y. In place of I, we have taken X. So we are trying to see generalized relationship. So when the, I mean the input weights, they are presented and the input is given as say X1, then it will be able to calculate Y1. So at the step number 2, you will be able to see the output as say Y0 is equal to W1 into V plus W1 into X plus W2 into X square. Please keep in mind this X is nothing but an vector which is having several values. I am taking just one values and we are trying to obtain that value, and we have taken first sample for which it will be able to predict or calculate the first output. After getting this first output, you have to calculate the error associated with it. Is expressed as delta 1. So it is expressed as y1 minus y01. What is y01? The above one, the y0 I have written there. Basically it is a y01 that is the neural network predicted output, and what is y1? From that table, it is nothing but the targeted output. So we will be able to calculate this error. Now, based on this error, how this error is used to modify the weights, because ultimately my aim is to obtain those weights for which at the end, after the training procedure, for the given values of inputs, it will be correctly predict the output, that is y. So our objective is to get that values of the weights. So for this, to obtain that weights, we are following this procedure. So ultimately we have to calculate first the errors for the first input, and this error at the next slide in step number 3, you can see that the weights updates, they are obtained as del W0 is equal to eta delta 1 into V, delta W1 is equal to eta delta 1 into X, delta W2 is equal to eta delta 1 into X square. Now you will ask some question, what is this delta, this eta into delta 1 into 1. This eta is nothing but your learning rate. It is another parameter in your neural network which is used. This learning rate, you can take an optimum value of in between 0 to 1, you can take any value. But again, I will give you that example. If you take the lower value of the learning rate, then it will be difficult for the neural network to understand it. Also, if you take the higher values of the learning rate, then your observation will be, probably it will not be able to relate the relationships, or it will not be able to predict it correctly. So you have to take an optimum value of this eta. This eta is taken between 0 to 1. This is another learning, this learning parameter is very important in neural network. So ultimately, now why I have written this relationship, for that you'll have to go or refer the upper slides where I have referred delta W0 is equal to eta into delta 1 into V. Just refer the slide number A2. Say this P is nothing but your Y and V is nothing but say X. So 1 X square, and this P is nothing but X. Then you can see that the error for a particular value, that is y1 minus y01, this error which is which we have calculated to modify the weight, say W0. What we have to do, this error delta into W0 into 1. So this is nothing but the formula for updation of the weights for W0, that is delta W0. Similarly, if you want to modify the weights, say W1, then you have to get the update, say delta W1 by eta into W1 into V. Similarly, one can calculate the error, the update in weights, say del W2 is equal to eta into W2 into V square. This relationship, basically you can find it here in step number 3. Now in step number 4, you will be able to see once these updates in weights, they are calculated, then you can modify the weights. You can modify the weights. So basically now you know the new weights, new updated weights. Now what we have to do, we have to pick the second input from the table, the second pattern. We will get the second values, and then for that particular second input, again we will calculate that y02, and again we will calculate the error. So the relationship you can find out, delta 2 is equal to y2 minus y02. What is y02? We have to use this particular relationship given in step number 1. y0 is equal to w0 into v, w0 into 1 plus w1 into x plus w2 into x square. But please keep in mind, this x is now the second input, and the weights, they are new updated weights. So you will be able to calculate the output for the second input. So you will be able to calculate second input. Now, after obtaining this particular the error for the second output, in such a way this particular procedure will be repeated for these all those instances, all those patterns, and then at the end you will be able to get the values of different errors, that is delta 1, delta 2, delta 3. Say I have taken 100 samples here. I have taken 100 samples based on the training data, if it is available to you. So these errors, that is delta 1 and delta 2 and delta 100, it will be calculated. But please keep in mind, all the time for every input, the weights will be updated. And at the end, you will be able to have that particular weights. At the end, what you have to do after obtaining this error, this is known as one particular epoch for complete cycle, when all the instances or patterns they are presented. Say the 100 patterns they are presented, and you will be able to calculate these 100 errors, delta 1 to delta 100. Now, after obtaining this error, what you have to do? You have to obtain the average mean squared error. That average mean squared error will be calculated as delta t is equal to delta 1 square. This is nothing but mean squared error, you can say. Based on the errors, this function is used to evaluate the overall error. Delta 1 square plus delta 2 square plus dash 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 up to delta 100 square upon n, as the n number of samples they are presented. Now, after this, once you calculate this particular error, this error we have to check with a prescribed limit. If suppose that delta is below a particular limit, say 0.001 like that, when it is possible, when delta 1 is a very less value, all these parameters, that is the errors, delta 1 to delta 100, when it is going to have very less value, then it is, you will have the completely delta t is equal to a very less value, because it is nothing but an average mean squared error. So ultimately you will see that this is nothing, it is dependent on the errors. Error, it means it is nothing but a kind of error minimization problem. It is a kind of taken as the optimization problem. This error can be taken as the optimization problem, where we are going to optimize the weights. So therefore this problem is taken as the optimization problem, where we have to optimize the weights. So the weights are taken as the control parameters. When you will get at the end the weights in such a way that it will be able to predict the output, correct outputs, then there we have to stop. So in step number 7, you have to calculate the mean squared error. And step number 8, if this error is less than a prescribed limit, then solution has come. Otherwise, you have to repeat this procedure from initially. And obtain at the final, you have to obtain the weights. These weights are at the end when your neural network is trained properly. Then you have got the solution. It means for this particular inputs, if I suppose give a value of input, any value of input for which we have trained this neural network, then it will be able to predict it correctly. Am I clear to everybody? This particular training procedure which I explained to you? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. In the next slide, we will see, we will take that problem, circuit problem, and we will try to calculate how it works. Basically, this neural network, for any particular problem, if you follow this training procedure, then it will be able to, you will be able to train a neural network for any given particular pattern, input pattern and output pattern, based on the supervised training method. So for the sample, let us take first sample set. In the example, I have taken first sample, the voltage V is say 0, current, it will come as I as 0, and the power is also a 0. So initially, if you take the weights, as I told you, the initially you have to initialize the weights between 0 to 1. You can take any low values of this particular weights. So I had just taken the initially these weights as 0.1, 0.1 and 0.1. We have initialized this. So then by that relationship, please keep in mind what which neural network we are using. We are trying to see the relationship of the power with respect to the voltage. I'm just showing that particular slide again to you. A of 2. We are trying to implement this one. A of 2, where the output power is P and the input voltages, they are expressed as this 1 V and V square through associated weights. For this, we will be able to calculate power with this relationship. Again, we are going to that slide where we have stopped. Now, this particular example, you can see we have initialized the weights, and the relationship P0 is equal to W0 into V1 plus W1 into V plus W2 into V square. What is V? V is the input. Now initially we have to take as 0. V you can take as 0, and W0, W1 and W2 you can take as 0.1. So then you will be able to calculate the value of P01, that is output power predicted by that neural network. Then you will be able to calculate the error, that is delta 1 for the first input, that is given by P1 minus P01. It is coming as 0 minus 0.1. It is coming as minus 0.1. Why I have taken the value of P1 is equal to 0? Because in this particular table, you will be able to see for the first pattern, the output is 0. P is 0. So therefore, that is known as the targeted input, you can say, targeted output. So the targeted output, that is P1, is 0. And the predicted output by neural network is 0.1. So when you calculate this, it will come as minus 0.1. So now this error will be able to this will be used to modify the weights. Now next we will see for the same inputs actually how we are updating the weights or how we are calculating that updates in weights. You have to use these formulas. Delta W0 is equal to eta delta 1 into 1. Now here I have taken an value of learning rate is equal to 0.5. I have taken the learning rate is equal to 0.5. Eta is equal to 0.5 I have taken. And delta 1 is, let's say, minus 0.1. And the 1 is, you have to put it here. So ultimately you will get the update in weights as minus 0.05. Similarly, you can calculate delta W1 by that relationship, eta delta 1 into V. Then you will get as 0. You have to put individual values where eta is 0.5, delta 1 is minus 0.1, V is 0, voltage value is 0. So then you will be able to calculate this update in weights, that is delta W1. Similarly, you will be able to calculate delta W2. Now you can see that we have now calculated this update in weights. Now if we take second input, now at the next slide you will see I have taken second input. Oh, sorry. Then we have to obtain, after obtaining that particular updates in weights, the weights will be modified. Now we will have these new weights as delta W0 of 2, W1 of 2, W2 of 2 for the second pattern. And you will obtain that by putting that value. W0 of 1 is equal to 0.1, as initially we have taken that value as 0.1, and delta W0 we have calculated as minus 0.05. So when you add this algebraically, you will get the value of W02. It is coming as 0.05. W1 is equal to, you will get 0.1 as delta W1 is 0. W2 of 2 you will get as 0.1 again, as delta W2 is 0. So now we have obtained the new weights. Now we will take the second input, that is second pattern. You can see this pattern, that is the second pattern where voltage value is 0.1, current is 0.1, and the value of power is coming as 0.01. Please keep in mind, this is nothing but the predicted output. Sorry, the output calculated, targeted output, you can say. Now we have to select, the weights which we have obtained, that is W0, W1 and W2. Now we have obtained that new weights as 0.05. In the previous slides we have calculated. W1 is equal to 0.1 and W2 is equal to 0.1. Now with these weights, we have to repeat this procedure. It means we have to repeat the same procedure from second input to the 11th input pattern. But please keep in mind, for every input at the end, you will have the updated weights. So when you repeat this particular procedure, because there are 11 number of samples, 11 number of samples are given for that particular problem. You can refer the previous slides. I am going to that, how I am telling that 11 samples we have taken. So please refer this slide number 13, observations, samples, training patterns and instances, where the 11 patterns they are taken. That is why we have to repeat this procedure for 11 number of patterns. And at the end, you will be able to calculate. At the end, you will be able to calculate that error. And then once that 11 errors, delta 1, delta 2, up to delta of 11, when you will be able to calculate that errors, then you will be able to calculate mean squared error. After mean calculation of that mean squared error, you have to check whether that error is below a threshold limit or prescribed limit. If it is below that threshold limit or prescribed limit, then you have to stop there and you have to obtain that particular weights. These weights are those weights where if these weights are given to the network, then whatever inputs you are going to give, it will be able to predict it correctly. But if you don't get that particular error as minimum below a threshold limit, then you have to repeat this procedure for different epochs, for different iterations, you can say. So thousands or 10,000 iterations you may require to train this particular network, depending on the non-linearity of the problems. You will be able to predict it correctly. But at the end, you have to obtain that weights. This is nothing but the training procedure. I think, is it clear to all of you that how we have trained that neural network and what training procedure we have used and how that error is used to modify the weights, and at the end,
Yes.
When this neural network trains,
Yes.
Then at the end you will be able to predict it correctly.
Yes.
Now then you have to take the testing pattern. You have taken a training pattern through which that neural network is trained, in which you will be able to see the different values of voltages we have taken for the training pattern from 0 to 1 per unit. Now we will take the different inputs, say 0, a new input, whether you can say 0, 0.15, 0.25, 0.35, say up to 1.05. And current you will be able to calculate, power you will be able to calculate. But what should be the value of ANN output? How we are going to calculate that ANN output? It should go through this particular training procedure. And at the end, you'll have to calculate all those optimum weights for which whatever value of input if I suppose give, then it will be able to calculate it properly. Then by this training procedure, at the end, you will get this optimum weights. After obtaining these weights, you can test these patterns, unknown patterns you can say in that range. Am I clear to everybody? This training procedure and testing patterns, is it clear to all of you? Hello?
Yes, sir. There is one announcement. Participants can ask their questions in question answer panel. Sir will definitely address those.
Okay.
Monitoring questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we can see that at the end, you can see that because we have used this training procedure, so at the end, ultimately what the things which I told you, that neural network, when it is trained, then it should go through a training procedure. It requires the training input patterns, training output patterns. So when it is properly trained, then at the end, it will be able to predict it correctly. And say for unknown patterns, that is at the testing phase basically, or say validation. When you give the unknown patterns, then it will be able to predict it correctly. So now at the end, what are the important parameters in artificial neural network? The input patterns and the output patterns. Basically for the training methods, you require the input patterns and output patterns basically. As I've given you the example of say this particular curve, how the power is changing with respect to voltage, where we are having the fixed relationship, parabola basically. Parabola you will get. So in a practical field, you will have the different relationship. I mean, the data is dispersed not correctly. It is fitting to that particular parabola or say any other nonlinear relationship. So you require input patterns and output patterns. Then weights. Yes. Ultimately, as the neural network is based on this philosophy that when you get this optimum value of the weights, then at the end, you will be able to predict it correctly. And then learning rate. An optimum value of learning rate is to be taken. Initially, you can take any value and then based on the experiences, you can choose a particular value of learning rate. So these are the two important parameters, that is weights and learning rate. Error minimization or say optimization problem. Basically, if you see, again, this is a kind of error minimization problem where we have to minimize the error. And how we are getting that error? Basically, to identify the different patterns. For suppose the input pattern, say we have taken first pattern, then what is the input and what is the output, say y1. So corresponding to that, whether your neural network is predicting it correctly or not, based on that you get that error. So ultimately we have to minimize that error, and at the end by mean squared error one can find out whether that error is below a threshold limit. So ultimately it is nothing but a kind of optimization problem.
Yes, sir. Sir, there
So
are
ultimately based on the this discussions, hello.
Yes, sir.
Based on these discussions, basically you can choose the different neural networks. I have given you some very basic neural network, that is basically it is known as the functional link network. For that you can also refer one of the very good book, that is Computer Intelligence in Neural Networks by LM Fu. You can find out the algorithms, different algorithms are there, different neural networks are there, and one can use different neural networks. But initially, because it is very difficult for the new learners to understand this particular pattern, so I mean you can go through this particular procedure, and by referring that particular book, the doubts, whatever doubts you have, you can discuss it with me. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So there are some few questions by the participants. Can I ask, sir?
Okay.
Yeah. One question from.
Oh yes, please.
Satish Kumar, sir. Sir, can you give the definition of
Okay.
ANN?
Definition of
ANN, artificial neural network.
this artificial neural network is basically say the human biological background, what we learn basically, that is known as the biological neural network. Basically this concept is derived from this artificial neural basically by this biological neural network. In whatever way we learn, as the examples I have told you, that child learning, how does he learn to identify the different patterns? So to identify different, say his mother or say father, initially, or say by his relatives, initially he may commit the mistake, but at the end when he learns properly, then basically he will be able to predict it correctly. In a similar way, based on this concept, this concept is used for this neural network. It is called as the artificial neural network, where one can implement this for unknown inputs. You will be able to calculate the outputs, that is you can predict it basically. Therefore that is used for the prediction, or say for the pattern recognition, or say for the functional approximation, or say for the curve fitting problems.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question from the Deepak Narkhede, sir. How to give the weight in the beginning?
That is what I have told you. Initially you can take low random weights. You can take any values of the weights, but you will be able to see as your output is a function of that weights. So if you take the higher values of the weights, then probably at the initially if you give that, then you will have a large value of error. So that is why we are taking depending on the non-linear system, we can start with very low values of these weights selected between 0 to 1.
Okay, sir. There one more question from the Manohar Kalgunde, sir. That is, what is the significance of a 0.5 for eta? I mean, what is the 0.5 value signified?
No, it is actually learning rate. That is why I have given you some example of that classroom teaching, isn't it?
Yes.
In that you can see that if you are learning, if you are teaching in a very slow manner, then probably your neural network will learn it, but it will take more computational time. Okay, but if you take higher values of the learning rate, then probably it will be possible that it will not be able to predict it correctly. So in between, you'll have to choose it, but depending on your experience, you can select it any value, and then based on the values of this learning rate, or say the learning rates, you can optimize this particular problem. Also, there is one variation for the problem which I have taken, that we are using the terms up to second order, 1v and v square, as it is mentioned in the slides. You can take the higher number of the higher functions for getting a particular value of the accuracy. So these are the various possible possibilities what you can use it for training your neural network.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question from the Navni Babar and Preeti Sharma. How to choose the
Okay.
initial values of weight and values of learning rate?
And see, that is what I am telling you. This is based on the experience. If you take it, that is why I have given you some example. If you take, you can select, you can start with any value. But if you suppose if you take the higher values of the weights, as you know the output power function, you please refer that slides. P0 is equal to W1 into 1 plus W1 into V plus W2 into V square. Okay, can you see this slide? Slide number 24.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
If you take the higher values of the weights, probably you will be able to get the value of P0, and the difference of that is delta 1. It may have the high value. So probably it is going to change the value of delta 1, and it is going to, delta, the way update in weights which you are calculating, it will also change. So probably sometimes it may happen that depending on this kind of if suppose the higher values of input weights they are taken, or say the so then probably it may take long time to compute, or long time for this optimization. Okay. Hello.
Okay, sir. There will one more question from the Dr. Mithu Sarkar. Okay.
Okay.
Input voltage, if testing is different here, that is 1.05, it may be any value. Can we take the any
Oh, that
value?
is a why. See, probably actually your neural network is used the whatever patterns we have trained it from 0 to say 1. So I have taken it. This is my mistake. Actually, I have taken it 1.05. This is out of that particular limit, that is 1.05. But probably based on the given values of the weights which we have optimized, probably it may be able to predict it. I don't say it is correct or not, but it may be able to predict it. But there may be chances of error. So this is my mistake. That is 11 number pattern I have taken at 1.05, because this is out of limit, because we have trained the samples from 0 to say 1. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance and your wonderful presentation for the basic of understanding of ANN, how we can apply the ANN and calculate the weight. On the behalf of Department of Electrical Engineering, KKWA Engineering Education and Society, Nashik, I would like to thank Dr. Atul Koshti sir for his good presentation. He's also a good friend of mine, and we meet always together, and I can say he's a very human being, a good human being also. So thank you, sir, for with us at with the KKWA College of Engineering. Hope your
Thanks, sir.
coordination will be associated with the KKWA once again. Thank you, sir, and thank you, participants. So we will start the next session at the 12 by the Dr. Amit Sant from PDPU Gandhinagar. Okay, so at the 12 we are going to start the session of Dr. Amit Sant. Okay, and highly apologize for the initial disturbance. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.